Hey, welcome back. In this session, we're exploring the dynamic world of graphic literature, where stories come alive not only through words, but through images, movement, and visual rhythm. This is part 2 of chapter 9 from our newly launched book, A Comprehensive Companion to Indian Writings in English. Graphic narratives open up new ways of seeing and reading, merging art with text and emotion with form. They challenge traditional modes of storytelling and offer a powerful space where imagination, culture, and critique intersect. In the context of Indian literature, this genre has grown into a vibrant canvas of voices and styles. In today's session, we'll walk through key developments in this field in chronological order so you can clearly trace the evolution and understand the aesthetic shifts, thematic innovations, and critical depth that define graphic literature in India. Let's begin. Let's take a quick journey through the evolution of Indian graphic literature in English, a genre where visuals do more than decorate the page. They carry meaning, provoke questions, and narrate history. We begin in the year 1658 with Orbis Pictus by John Amos Comenius. Though not Indian, this Latin English picture book is widely regarded as the first illustrated educational text for children, and it laid the visual groundwork for what would one day become global graphic storytelling. Fast forward 3 centuries to 1967, when Anand Pai launched Amar Chitra Katha, a landmark in Indian publishing. With its iconic comic book format, ACK revived the epics, legends, and heroes of India, making cultural heritage accessible to generations of young readers. Then came Mouse by Art Spiegelman, spanning the years 1980 to 91. A Pulitzer Prize-winning masterpiece, it reimagined Holocaust trauma through anthropomorphic characters, and though Western, it deeply influenced the memoir form in Indian graphic literature. In 1994, Orijit Sen's River of Stories changed everything. Often cited as India's first graphic novel, it explored the environmental and tribal tensions surrounding the Narmada Dam project, fusing art, activism, and narrative urgency. That same year, Tara Publishing released The Hungry Lion, a screen-printed picture book rooted in folk art. Its tactile, handcrafted design won international acclaim for blending aesthetics with accessibility. A year later, in 1995, Geeta Wolf and Pulak Biswas created Hen Sparrow Turns Purple, a scroll format picture book that broke conventional design norms and earned global recognition at the Biennale of Illustrations in Bratislava. In 2002, The Diary of a Teenage Girl by Phoebe Glockner emerged. Although based in the US, this hybrid of prose, comics, and diary entries offered a new template for exploring adolescence, trauma, and voice. An influence visible in contemporary Indian works, 2 years later, Sarnath Banerjee's Corridor introduced Delhi's urban youth to the graphic novel genre. With fragmented storytelling and ironic visuals, it captured the city's philosophical restlessness. In 2005, Ekki Dokki, illustrated by Ranjan De and published by Tulika Books, gave us a folk-style parable that quietly challenged ideas of self-worth, sibling, rivalry, and belonging. By 2006, Uma Krishnaswamy's And Land Was Born retold a tribal creation myth using wall painting aesthetics, reconnecting visual literacy with indigenous knowledge systems. Then, in 2007, Banerjee returned with The Barn Owl's Wondrous Capers, a satire set in colonial Calcutta that wove treasure hunts with post-colonial memory. 2008 saw Amruta Patil's Bold Kari, a hauntingly lyrical graphic novel that traced queer identity, mental health, and urban isolation through inky panels and poetic narration. In 2009, George Mathen, better known as Apupan, published Moonward, a wordless fantasy where visuals alone unveiled a dystopian world called Halahala, shaped by myth and modernity. That same year, journalist Joe Sacco's Footnotes in Gaza merged comics with reportage chronicling the unspoken massacres of Palestine. Though global, its method of testimonial narrative resonates with Indian graphic documentary styles. In 2010, Gautam Bhatia's Lie used speculative satire and architectural metaphors to question truth, ideology, and freedom, building a surreal allegory rooted in modern paranoia. Banerjee returned once more with the Harappa Files, a collection of visual vignettes dissecting Indian pop culture, consumerism, and urban anxieties with wit and nostalgia. We now arrive at 2011, the year Bhimayana. Experiences of untouchability gave Indian graphic literature a new soul. Written by Srividya Natarajan and S. Anand, and illustrated by Durgabai and Subhash Vyam in Gond art style, this biography of B.R. Ambedkar transforms caste violence into visual metaphor. Thorns become insults, scorpions become fear. In 2012, Shweta Taneja's Krishna, Defender of Dharma, illustrated by Rajesh Nagulakonda, retold the cosmic battles of Krishna, blending myth and action for a younger audience. That same year, Amruta Patil's Adi Parva emerged as a mytho-poetic reworking of the Mahabharata's origin stories, its pages echoing with painterly depth and lyrical wisdom. 2013 saw Taneja's The Skull Rosary, where 5 eerie tales of Shiva combined mysticism and dark fantasy into a powerful visual storm. In 2014, Priya's Shakti introduced a new icon, Priya, a rape survivor turned superhero. Created by Ram Devineni and Dan Goldman, it fused myth with activism and even augmented reality, reclaiming public spaces for feminist resistance. Then in 2015 came Drawing the Line, an anthology curated by Priya Kuryan, where Indian women artists drew stories of rebellion, trauma, and self-assertion. Each panel a protest, each stroke a refusal. Amruta Patil returned in 2016 with Soptic, a sequel to Adi Parva. Narrated by Ashwathama, this graphic novel bridged war's aftermath with questions of ecology and ethics. In 2017, Pashmina by Nidhi Chanani crossed borders. A magical shawl connects an Indian-American girl with her ancestral past. That same year, Priya Kuryan released Amachi's Glasses, a wordless, whimsical book where a grandmother's lost spectacles lead to comic chaos. In 2018, Indira by Devapriya Roy, illustrated again by Kuryan, traced the towering life of Indira Gandhi through a candid and colorful graphic biography. 2019 was a landmark year. Malik Sajad's Munnu, a boy from Kashmir, revealed the raw pain of growing up amid conflict, while Parismita Singh's The Hotel at the End of the World weaved northeastern folklore into surreal tales. That same year, Priya and the Lost Girls tackled sex trafficking with grit and grace, showing the power of sisterhood. By 2022, Somish Kumar's Little by Little brought us an introspective graphic memoir of growing up in Bihar. Nikhil Gulati's The People of the Indus translated archaeological history into dynamic visuals, revealing the silent brilliance of one of the world's oldest civilizations. And Priya and the Twirling Wind took on the climate crisis as our superhero Priya confronted storms both literal and societal. Finally, in 2023, Priya and Sahas closed the loop with a story of inner courage, Sahas meaning strength. Through every frame and page, the Priya series proves that resilience, when visualized, can be revolutionary. So that's it. 33 works you should know before stepping into the exam hall. Each of these texts has helped shape the landscape of Indian graphic literature, and many of them have already made appearances in previous UGC Net questions. Thank you so much for staying with me through this session. In the next session, we will dive into the part 3. We'll move into the powerful world of disability narratives. We'll explore how literature not only represents but redefines the idea of disability through courage, emotion, and new ways of storytelling. See you in the next session.